doesn't make sense.
It is so hard. It is so hard.
I think I have just lost the one person that I've prayed for.
A man was working at McDonald's and he treated you perfectly the way you wanted him to.
I would not date him.
We got another one.
Today, I've been divorced for 3.5 years, and I went through 1.5 years of counseling after my marriage broke up.
Yeah.
And I've dated on and off in that 3.5 years. I don't have any kids, so it was a clean break in my divorce. I'm a church worker. I'm a strong Christian, and I try to live by Christian values Christian values when dating. I'm also a woman of the real world and understand, when dating, what it's like to date out in the real world, and
that doesn't make
sense.
It is
so hard. It is so hard to find someone who is looking for someone of value, who's not wanting to sleep with someone right away, and who's not wanting to, change their morals because they are a single woman.
It's hard because you had already won. You had already won. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place. I don't know. We got any scientists out there I've heard to say it before, all right? But the odds are not in your favor. You have won. For whatever reason, you forfeited, and now you think you're just going to grab that again? You didn't pay attention to what was going on out in the streets? And to get counseling for 3.5 years, how long was the marriage? Was that longer than the marriage? Was that half of the marriage? 3.5, that's a long time. I believe that therapy is a good thing. If you need help, go out and speak to somebody. That is a long time, and I gotta believe that therapist was just enabling her. That therapist was not holding her accountable for how she was maneuvering in this new normal. But go ahead and push the blame out on somebody else.
I just can't understand why it's hard out here for us good women.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Marianne. Couple things. You're a church girl, but you're dating in the world. You're doing what every other woman is doing. You're living one way, okay? You're dating another way. You're expecting that shit to mix. It will not. Let me go a little deeper into what I mean. There are women who want to party every weekend and be hot girls and have their titties out and be fun and all this. And they want to find a traditional man who's their exact age. It takes care of them. Do all the stuff that a traditional man does. You know what I'm saying to you? You're doing the same thing, just light. Like, I'm a traditional woman. I'm a Christian. I'm doing everything I want to. But really, you don't want to date those losers at the church. I know them dudes at the church. They lame as hell, so you dating the guys you find attractive. It ain't never gonna work out like that, because the guys you find attractive gonna want to smash. You feel what I'm saying to you? They not in church. They don't think like you think. Same as the women who want to, live their life and do all this out here and be crazy. And they want, they really be wanting a Christian man who's 6'5", pays all the bills and stays at home and do all it. Like, it's crazy. You're going through the same dilemma as every other woman who's trying to date but don't know what they're doing. Last thing I want to hit on. Why is it so hard for a good woman to find a man? When it comes to dating, men don't define what a good man is, and women don't define what a good woman is. Whoever you want to date is going to define what's good in you and what's not, depending on what their standards are. That's a hard thing to grasp for a lot of people. So a lot of guys think, I gotta have a lot of money and then I'm good for everybody. And really, there's some women who simply require emotional intelligence. And for women, some women think, I just gotta be pretty and fine, and that's it. There's gonna be some guys that you like that are gonna require you make some money and help pay some bills. And it just be hard for y'all to grasp that. You feel like if you like somebody, they should come over to your side of the stage and do what you say do, but it's literally the opposite. You gotta move to them if you like them. Name of the game is compromise, but y'all don't like that name. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Don't end up crying on the internet about your divorce 3 years ago and not being able to find nobody because everybody else is the problem.
So that brother hit the nail on the head. And it makes me think of this line from the series, and it's almost kind of like a mantra at times. Well, The Wire is one of my favorite TV series of all time. And if you hadn't seen it, this won't spoil anything, but there's a character on there, and his name was Marlowe, and he's some kingpin drug dealer. Well, one day he goes into a little convenience store, maybe a bodega, I don't know, whatever. He goes in and he grabs whatever items that he needs, and he sees the security guard looking at him. And what does he do? He takes some little dumb candies and puts it in his pocket, right where the security guard can see. And he walks out, pays for his items, and walks out. So what happens? The security guard follows behind this drug dealer, this kingpin, who he is well aware of his status, who this man is. And he said, look, man, I'm not trying to step two, but I'm a man. I got to do my job. I got to provide for my family, and I'm trying to do this the right way. And you would think that it pulled on the heartstrings of this big and bad drug dealer. He might say, you know what, man, I apologize. If you need anything, let me know. But that didn't happen. He looked that man in his eye socket and said, look, partner, you want things to be one way, but it's the other way. And that's what's up with this chick. She wants to go out there and date, and all of a sudden the world has all these same morals and values that your husband more than likely already had, and you left for whatever reason. Well, you want things to be one way, but it's the other way, my dear.
I think I have just lost the one person that I prayed for. All because of my self-sabotaging tendencies. God forbid I actually accept good things that are happening to me, because I'm so used to it being a mess. I'm so used to it being toxic. And here I am in the face of a non-toxic situation, in the face of a God-fearing man, in the face of a family man, an amazing person. And I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And I think I've just lost. I think I just lost the opportunity to experience something I've never experienced before.
That's a prime example of why I always advocate for a woman making better decisions early on in life. Because now you've been dealing with these flashy, what's good, what's exciting, these guys that are just garbage. They are trash to you and trash for you, but that's what you become accustomed to. You built up so much scar tissue to where when you see a good man that you deserve and now need, you can't act right. You've been so accustomed to chaos, you can't stand peace.
A man was working at McDonald's and he treated you perfectly the way you wanted him to.
I would not date him.
And that's what she said too.
Fuck that.
I literally said,
you can't even get, where are you gonna,
everything.
Can I ask?
where the hell, what is he supposed to give me?
Loves you.
What is he supposed to give me if he works at McDonald's?
He gives
Like,
you the
go get a better education and
Quite brazen, yeah, well, it looks like it. You're quite brazenly.
Looks doesn't define
when I'm speaking, it's
education,
best that your
though.
face stops moving. So when you're judging a man quite brazenly and quite actually disrespectfully because of the income that he earns, perhaps he doesn't have an intellectual aptitude, but he's a good person and he'd treat you really well. As somebody who is a prostitute, what is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
I have like much more than just a prostitution as a job, though.
What is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
So McDonald's is worse than being a prostitute?
Yeah, but I'm not a prostitute. I'm a sugar baby.
You have sex with people for money.
Yeah.
What makes you better than that man?
I'm not saying I'm better than him,
Okay,
but
well,
I'm
you just
saying
judged
I
him and you
wouldn't
said-
date somebody. I would wonder why he's working at McDonald's.
McDonald's
Did you-
actually has a
do you
really high
think that
minimum
men-
wage.
No, they don't.
Do you think that most?
No, they don't. They pay like what?
Like almost set 15.
Well, I
That's
think
not a lot of money.
So the way you feel about the guy who works at McDonald's,
Yeah.
that's the way men feel.
That's fine. Everybody
about
can have
what
their own
you
opinion.
do.
Totally
But
fine.
their
Okay.
opinion would be
But
more
most-
logical than McDonald's.
Sure.
She was so on getting a man that makes over 100K, I think she would actually leave.
So you ever hear of a man talking down on a woman that works at McDonald's? Now let's not mince words here. We know that if you have a regular job there, one of the lower positions, it's gonna be hard on you to live in this big world that we live in. But at least you're making an honest living. And if you work your way up the ladder, you can get up to about the average income in America, depending on your location. And this chick would much rather sell her body and bits and pieces of her soul than to be with a man that is good for her and that she can build with. She didn't care about his character at all. I'd rather go out and get this easy, quick money. Man. Cold world.
When we coming up, remember your parents tell you could play to the end of this block. Remember, that's as far as your ass go. Ain't no going out to the woods. And I remember my mama told me, if you go any further, I'ma fuck you up. I remember one day, me and my partner, Dawn Jr., we kicking it, right? Get up to the corner, nigga. They like, hey, come on, let's go on the next block. Boy, I was nervous. That's when you look down to see if your mama on the front porch. My mama looked at me dead in the eye. I couldn't hear her, but her mouth said, I'm like, they're like, you ain't going in? I'm like, nah, man, I caught a Charlie horse. I ain't trying to look like no punk. I got a horse. Are you old bitch ass nigga? I said, I'll be the bitch today. I'd rather fight both of y'all than take one ass whooping from her. My mama beat me out of the penitentiary. As y'all can see, I was free. And obviously, y'all parents whooped y'all out the penitentiary because y'all here. Them two brothers I'm talking about locked up right now. Because pain give you a memory of what.
Shout out to Eddie Griffin, man. I'm going to have to look up that comedy special because that wasn't that brother in the video. That was Eddie Griffin. And if you know the special, comment down below and let me know so I can check out the full thing. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one.